Have you ever tried detox and ended up feeling worse instead of better? More tired, more foggy, more bloated, more irritable, maybe even like your body was working against you? If that's happened to you, I want you to hear this right away. Detox is not the problem. Doing it out of order is usually the problem. Your body was designed by God to remove waste every single day. It already has built in systems for detoxification and elimination. But when those systems are congested, sluggish, or overwhelmed, and then you try to push detox on top of that, that is when people often feel miserable. And that is why today we are talking about opening elimination pathways. Because if things are not moving out well, you don't want to stir more up. This video is part of the detox series I'm walking you through in the right order. We already talked about first, water, because without enough water, the body cannot move waste efficiently. Second, reducing toxic load, because it does not make sense to work hard on detox while continuing to overload the body every day. And now we're on the next step, opening elimination pathways. This is where we help the body actually move things out and through. And that matters because the women I work with usually are not just a little tired. They're exhausted, mentally foggy, hormonally off, emotionally worn down, and frustrated because they keep trying things and not getting lasting results. What they want is not just a detox. They want to think clearly again, have steady energy, stop feeling toxic and inflamed, and feel more calm in their body, and trust what they're doing is actually helping. That is why this step matters so much. Detox feels harsh, forceful, or chaotic. Something is off. Detox is supposed to be about flow through the body, not force. Your body is always processing waste through the liver, kidneys, colon, lymphatic systems, skin, and lungs. This is happening all the time. So the issue is not whether your body detoxes well. You wouldn't be alive if you couldn't detox. The issue is whether your body can eliminate well enough to keep up. Because if you are dehydrated, constipated, stagnated, inflamed, overwhelmed, breathing shallowly, not sweating, and not supporting your liver and bile flow, then the body can start to feel backed up. And when that happens, women often describe it like this. I feel stuck. I feel toxic. I feel bloated. I feel mentally and emotionally off. I feel like my body is holding on to everything. I don't feel like myself. And that matters. Because when elimination starts improving, one of the first things many women notice is not dramatic detox symptoms. It's often more mental clarity, less heaviness, more regularity, less puffiness, less pressure in the body, more stable energy, and feeling like things are finally moving. There is hope to being back to who you were before. That is a big win. One of the most common mistakes I see starts with a vague detox goal. I saw someone recently post something like this. I need a slow and easy detox. I don't want to make myself sick, but detox is necessary. There's way too much information out there. And that is such a common place to be. It makes sense. There is too much information out there. A lot of it's confusing. A lot of it is out of order. And a lot of it makes detox sound like one single thing, but detox is not one size fits all. When I saw this, my first thoughts were, what are you trying to detox? Why do you think detox is necessary? What's your goal? What is your body dealing with right now? Because detox can mean a lot of different things. And without more clarity, you can end up doing something that sounds healthy, but is not appropriate for your body right now. That is one reason I guide women through a process instead of just throwing random ideas at them. I start with the foundations. We already talked about water and reducing incoming toxic load. Now we're going to be opening up elimination pathways and evaluating what the body is actually dealing with. Because the goal is not to do a detox. It's a silly goal. The goal is to help you feel better in a way that is wise, effective, and sustainable. If the exits of your body are not open, do not start pushing harder. Detox starts with drainage. That means before we start trying to move more toxins, kill off pathogens, or do anything deeper, we need to support the body's natural exit routes. Why? Because when the body starts mobilizing waste, toxins, and debris, that material has to go somewhere. And if it does not leave efficiently, it can recirculate. And when that happens, you may feel headaches, fatigue, body aches, nausea, irritability, anxiety, brain fog, flu-like symptoms, and always emotional ups and downs. This doesn't automatically mean something horrible is happening. It often means the body is communicating and telling us, I need more support with elimination than I have right now, please. That is why I pay close attention to how the body is communicating all the way along. And that is also why I tell people very clearly, I do not care what detox you did 3 years ago. I care about what your body is saying today. How are your bowels moving? How is the hydration right now? How inflamed are you? What has your recent stress been like? Are you at a good place in your life that you have physical and emotional capacity to work through this detox? Yes, emotional capacity matters. Have you recently done any serious work that truly supported those pathways, or have you mostly just tried random things? That matters much more than your detox history. If one pathway is congested, the others have to work harder. God designed the body beautifully. These systems are not independent little departments working separately. They work together. If the colon is sluggish, other systems carry more burden. If the liver is backed up, the whole body feels it. If lymph is stagnant, waste hangs out in tissues longer. If the kidneys are not filtering efficiently, the system feels heavier. If the skin is reacting, sometimes it is because the body is trying to push things out another way. If breathing is shallow and oxygenation is poor, that affects cellular energy and waste removal too. So when one pathway is congested, the body often compensates. But compensation is not the way to thrive. Over time, that compensation can look like chronic fatigue, brain fog, irritability, hormone imbalances, skin flares, swelling, constipation, headaches, feeling toxic and inflamed, and being sensitive to supplements or detox efforts. This is why opening pathways is so important. It helps the body stop fighting uphill. If you're not pooping well, detox will never go well. I know that's not a glamorous subject, but it's true. The colon is one of the body's main exit routes for waste. The liver processes and packages waste, and much of that needs to leave through the digestive tract. If bowel movements aren't regular, complete, and moving easily, the body can end up reabsorbing some of what it was trying to get rid of. That means you can work hard on detox and still feel awful if the bowels are sluggish. The bowels help remove digestive waste, metabolize toxins, used up hormones, compounds carried through the bile, debris the body wants gone. This is one of the most vital elimination pathways because if this route is backed up, the whole system feels more burdened. Signs this pathway may need support: not having bowel movements daily, hard stools, incomplete bowel movements, constipation, bloating, gas, feeling heavy or full, headaches that improve after a bowel movement, irritability when you feel backed up, feeling toxic or sluggish, or even extreme sadness. Some women I work with normalize those symptoms and infrequent bowel movements. They think, well, every other day is just normal for me, or I've always been constipated. But normal and healthy are not always the same thing. Pooping efficiently every day is a necessity. If you start mobilizing toxins and the bowels are not moving well, you can feel worse headaches, worse fatigue, more bloating, more nausea, more heaviness, more irritability. Because the body is trying to clear, the exit route is not cooperating. Here are some simple home supports. Adequate water intake. I'll say that again and again. Adequate water intake. Minerals, especially magnesium when it's appropriate. And don't go heavy on it. Just work your way up if you need to. Movement, especially walking. Consistent routines for eating and for bathroom time. Not ignoring the urge to go. Just settle into it. Supporting the nervous system so the body can relax enough to eliminate. And this is important too. If someone is eating very little, stressed out all the time, dehydrated and sedentary, the bowels will reflect that. This is one of the areas where I use tried and true protocols in practice because some people need more structured support. Sometimes the body needs more direct help to get moving gently and effectively. And I tailor that based on what the body is communicating and the person's habits. Some people only need a little support. Some need a lot more, but we don't force it. I help the body respond and wait for the all clear signal before pushing forward. Liver and bile flow is our second area we want to talk about. Your liver can do a lot of work, but it cannot finish the job alone. The liver is one of the main processing organs in detoxification. It helps transform toxins and unwanted compounds so the body can move them out. It also plays a role in hormone metabolism, nutrient handling, blood sugar balance, and many other things. But one of the pieces people miss is bile flow. Bile helps move waste out through the digestive tract. So when liver function feels burdened or bile flow seems sluggish, the body can start to feel backed up, reactive, and overwhelmed. The liver helps process toxins, package waste for removal, handle hormones after they've been used, and support fat digestion through bile production, filter and manage a tremendous amount of chemical traffic in your body. This is a huge job. And when the body's incoming load is high, the liver often feels burdened. Signs that you may need liver support, liver and bile support. Nausea from fatty foods, feeling heavy after meals, headaches, irritability, chemical sensitivity, feeling worse around fragrances, hormonal swings, skin breakouts, a sense that your body's not tolerate detox well. Many women who are exhausted and emotionally off are often dealing with a body that feels burdened in the liver. If the liver is doing the work of processing waste, the next steps are not moving well, the body can feel backed up. This is one reason detox can feel harsh. If you're asking the liver to process more, but the full chain of elimination is not moving slowly, the whole thing won't move slowly. Some helpful home supports for your liver and bile flow can be hydration, again and again, minerals, eating real food that isn't processed in a factory or a restaurant, bitters or bitter foods before meals like arugula or bitter greens. That helps get the digestion working. Reducing exposure to fragrance, chemical toxins, and unnecessary toxic inputs. Consistent meal times and no snacking. Chewing food well, and just supporting overall digestion. And this is where reducing toxic load from the previous video still matters. If the body is already overloaded and you keep adding fragrance, candles, air fresheners, those kind of things, harsh cleaners, plastics from cooking or storing foods, chemical skincare, or processed food stressors, then the liver has even more to deal with. This is another area where I often use specific supports, supplements, and homeopathics. Products I trust because the body sometimes needs more than just lifestyle changes to open this up well. And again, pace matters. Some people can support liver and bile flow fairly quickly and easily. Others need a much slower and more careful, thoughtful approach. The body tells us which one is appropriate for you. Kidneys. The kidneys are unsupported, the whole body can feel heavier. The kidneys are constantly filtering the blood. They are helping regulate fluid balance, minerals, and waste removal through the urine. And this is one reason I started this series with water, because the kidneys need hydration, not just detox products, not just good intentions. Hydration with good, clean water. The kidneys help filter waste from blood, regulate fluid balance, which affects blood flow, help with electrolyte balance, move certain wastes out through the urine, and support overall internal balance. They are working all day long, and when the body is dry or depleted, that can make things harder. Signs that kidney support may be needed: dark urine. That's an alarming thing. Make sure you pay attention to it. Not urinating often enough or feeling the urge to go too often. Puffiness, water retention, fatigue, feeling dried out, headaches from dehydration, and feeling worse after drinking coffee, soda, or alcohol. Some women are shocked when they realize how little water they're actually drinking in comparison to what their body really needs. And then they wonder why detox feels terrible. The kidneys do not have the fluid and mineral support they need. The body has fewer resources to move waste out well. That can contribute to headaches, fatigue, puffiness, feeling toxic, poor detox support. And simple support for the kidneys can include adequate water consistently through the day, not all at once, and not only when you're thirsty. Minerals in the water and through mineral-rich nutrition. Watching the effects of coffee, soda, alcohol, and even heavy stress. Paying attention to urine color, not using detox tools that dehydrate while ignoring replenishment. Some people really only need to get serious about hydration and minerals here. Others need deeper support. This is one reason I use guided protocols and supports that I know tend to work gently and effectively because kidneys are not an area where guesswork is good enough. The lymphatic system. If your lymph is stagnant, waste can sit in the tissues longer than it should. The lymphatic system is one of the most overlooked elimination pathways. People think about the liver and they think about the bowels, but the lymph matters so much because it helps move waste out of tissues. And unlike the heart, the lymphatic system does not have its own pump. It depends on movement from you. The lymph system helps move waste from tissues, support immune function, carry fluid, and help the body handle debris and stagnation. Signs that the lymphatics need support: puffiness, swollen feeling, tenderness or swelling in the neck, underarm, or groin areas, cellulite that worsens with stagnation, general heaviness and feeling stuck. Many exhausted women feel like their body is just holding on to everything. This is one place they think about when they describe that. If toxins, waste, and inflammatory debris are lingering in tissues and not moving well, the body can feel sore, puffy, heavy, inflamed, and sluggish. And this can make detox efforts rougher. At home, you can support your lymphatics by walking, gentle rebounding or bouncing, stretching, deep breathing, dry brushing, light massage, hydration again, because water still matters here too. Hydration, hydration, hydration. This is an area where I often tell people not to overdo it. More aggressive in working with the lymph is not always better. Sometimes a very small amount of support is enough to show how reactive or congested the body is. Again, the body's response determines pace. Sometimes the skin starts talking loudly when deeper elimination pathways are overloaded. Skin is not the main pathway I want to rely on during detoxification, but it absolutely is part of the elimination process. The body can push things through the skin through sweat and other processes, and sometimes skin symptoms can be a clue that the body is burdened in other elimination paths. The skin can help with sweat-based elimination, barrier protection, reflecting internal imbalance, showing us when the body may be burdened or reactive. And the skin even helps with oxygenation. Yep, our skin literally helps us breathe. Signs that this pathway may need support: rashes, acne, irritation, unusual body odor, not sweating much, reacting strongly to laundry detergents or skincare products. If the body is trying to use the skin more because deeper elimination is overloaded, that can be a clue that we need to support the bigger drainage pathways more effectively. Some simple supports for your skin can include sweating through movement if tolerated, sauna if appropriate and well tolerated, reducing chemical products on your skin, using cleaner body care, supporting hydration again and again, and mineralization, not treating the skin like an enemy when it may be giving us useful information, like trying to cover up a rash with makeup or something like that. We need to pay attention to that. This is not about attacking a symptom. It's about asking, what is my body trying to tell me? And the skin is very good at communicating, and it's different from us just covering something up. The lungs, even your breath is part of detox. Some people forget that the lungs are one of the body's elimination pathways too. Every time you exhale, you are releasing waste. And breathing affects far more than oxygen alone. It affects nervous system regulation, movement, and how tense or open the body feels. The lungs help eliminate waste gases, oxygenate the body, support cellular energy, and influence stress response and nervous system tone. Signs that the lungs may need support: shallow breathing, chest tightness, sighing or yawning a lot, anxiety patterns, poor stamina, low energy, not taking full breaths. A lot of women living in stress are barely breathing, and that matters more than people realize. Shallow breathing can go hand in hand with tension, lower oxygenation, poor nervous system regulation, and less movement through the entire body. It is not the only issue, but it does contribute. Overall supports can include deep breathing practices, getting outside in fresh air, reducing indoor toxic load, walking, slowing down enough to breathe fully, and being aware of fragrances, smoke, mold, and other irritants. This is another area where paying attention matters. The goal is not perfection. The goal is learning to notice what your body is communicating and then responding appropriately. You do not start a detox by stirring things up. You start by opening the exits. In practice, I am often looking at hydration and minerals, bowel movements, liver and bile flow, kidneys, lymph, and then watching the rest of the picture. Because once those basic pathways begin improving, the body often starts tolerating deeper work much better. That is when women often say things like, I feel lighter, my head feels clear, not as puffy. I don't feel as toxic or stressed. Finally going to the bathroom more consistently. And I don't feel as overwhelmed in my body. That matters because the goal is not to impress you with a protocol. The goal is to help your body function better so you can feel better and more like yourself. The right pace for detox is the pace your body can actually handle. Some people go slow, some can move more quickly. Neither one is more spiritual, more disciplined, or more impressive. What matters is what the body is communicating. If the body says this is too much, I'm getting more inflamed, I'm getting backed up, I'm reacting strongly, I'm going to shut down, then we listen. And that is how I work. Yes, I have done a lot of this. Yes, I use tried and true protocols, products, supplements, and homeopathics to help. And we open up the elimination pathways gently and effectively. But none of that changes the fact that the body must be listened to. I guide the process. I do not bully the body. And that's one reason women feel so relieved when they work with me, because they stop feeling like they have to guess. They stop feeling like they have to force. They stop blaming themselves or their bodies when a random detox does not work. Instead, get structure, clarity, support, wisdom about pace, and a plan that makes sense for them. That helps the exhausted woman finally exhale a little and enjoy peace. Most women that work with me see results within at least 2 months, most of the time within the first month. What you need is not more random detox. You need wise direction. When you work with me, you're not just getting ideas. You're getting help in understanding what your body is struggling with, where to start, what order makes sense, how to go at the right pace, and what signs mean keep going, and what signs mean back up and support more before moving forward. That matters because the woman that comes to me for support is tired of spinning her wheels. She wants clear direction, better energy, less brain fog, less overwhelm, more peace in her body, and hope that healing is actually possible. And when we do this together in the right order, she starts to feel more stable, less afraid of detox, less inflamed, more confident, more connected to what her body needs, and more hopeful that she can feel like herself again. That is a very different experience from random detox advice. Now, we've talked about opening up the elimination pathways. The next step to look at is what your body may actually be trying to tell you. What's it dealing with? Because once those pathways are supported, your body is in a better position to start handling what's underneath the surface. And for the people I work with, the next layer often includes infections and emotional stressors. That part of detox is very important. Things can quietly keep the body stuck, even when you're doing everything right. So in the next video, we're going to walk through that piece. What infection and stress can look like, how it shows up in your body, and why it can feel like you're not making progress. And this is where getting clarity becomes so important because we don't want to guess. We want to understand what your body is actually communicating. That's exactly why I use the root cause landscape blood panel. It helps you see whether your body is dealing with more infection and stress, toxin load, energy challenges, or is it nutrient utilization? So instead of random detox, you have direction. I'll put the link below if you want to take that next step and get answers for your body. And I'll see you in the next video. One closing thought I want to make clear for you. Your body is designed by God with wisdom and order. When we honor that order instead of rushing past it, things often begin to change quickly. Not necessarily overnight and not by force, but in a real and meaningful way. You start to feel clear, lighter, steadier, less burdened, less confused, and more hopeful. And if that is what you need right now, this is exactly why I teach detox in steps. Before we finish, I want to leave you with this. Honor the design God gave to your body. Detox is not a race, and your body is not something to fight against. Your body was beautifully designed to heal. When we remove what's in the way and give it the support it needs. So listen to what it's telling you. Pay attention to the signals. Work with your body, not against it. According to Psalm 139 of God's Word, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, unique, intentional, and deeply valued beyond comprehension. And that means your healing process will look different from everyone else's. And that's okay. I'm praying for you, for clarity, for direction, and for your body to respond in a powerful way as you take these next steps towards healing.